All right, so with holding space and with the program, confidentiality is one of the major things because everything that's spoken is like not with you guys. Obviously, you're in a partnership, but if you were in a partnership, like what's shared is sacred. Like, so if I'm working with you, the buck stops here. Like, it doesn't go anywhere, and that creates a safe space, right? If I'm running around telling all your dirty laundry, then like that's not safe. So confidentiality is one of the major parts of this. Is whatever is said, and like so if we're working together, I don't even say like I don't refer to your work in any way, shape, or form afterwards. And if I do, it's totally within like the realm of boundaries to say, hey, I mentioned that in ceremony or something like that. And then the other person would own their stuff. So in a larger community, which is what I'm hoping to build, like we can practice receiving a boundary really well where someone is like, oh, I own it. And then we also know when we take this to the outside world, if someone violates our boundaries, that's not a safe person, and we probably want to stay far away from them. So confidentiality is a huge part of this. And then the contract. So contract is on page 2. So what we give in this program is caregiving. CARE is an acronym for, as you can see at the top, consciousness and care, awareness and attention, respect and receptivity, empathy and emotion. So the way this will work is we always give care. Like that's just the standard. So if you do nothing else, you're just giving compassion, awareness, respect, and empathy for the other person. Then we have the next part of this, which says there's a contract. So if I'm working with you, we're going to always give care. And the next one is eye contact. That's almost always given as well. So if I'm working with you, and this will all make sense as we go along, for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, I'm always keeping eye contact with you. I'm not distracted by my phone. I'm not distracted by people walking by. I'm not distracted by other people in the room. So even if you're doing your work and you're not looking at me, you'll be able to meet my eyes when you finally are ready to like make that connection. Like we don't often get somebody's undivided time and attention. And so that's part of this too, is like my eye contact, my focus, my attention is on you 100% of the time that we agree upon. Touch or no touch, and then what kind of touch. It's all safe, non-sexual touch, of course, but the more you get to work with somebody, the more you get to know somebody, like we can dive deeper into, can I hold you during this process? Do you want to lay on my lap? Do you know? And then I usually remain pretty open if somebody does agree to touch. Like I'm here if you're available, and having that grounding force, just somebody like, okay, we're still here, even if in our mind we're, in our past or processing our future, right? Like then that touch really grounds you in this moment, and that is really why. And I think this is sometimes more powerful than going and seeing a therapist, because your therapist isn't ever gonna touch you or typically hold you. It's kind of like a weird violation of stuff. So this allows you to really dive deep, and like the people I've worked with in my community, like there's just a love there that is beyond, time and space. Like I don't have to see them all the time to just know them and feel this love that I've had with them. Okay, the final one in the contract is called interventions. That's something you learn as you go along. Outside of the 3-hour workshop, I'm going to run an 8-week course to learn the interventions. I'll certainly introduce those concepts, but we go into some deep ass stuff in the 8-week course. Like we really dive into things. I'll briefly mention what they are, but interventions are really where the like bread and butter of this is, because this is a safe container for any and all emotions. And whoever I'm working with, I want with love to get you there, to like get the emotional outburst, get to the root of the issue, get to whatever it is. And that's where the interventions are the most important. But we need to do them like with love in our heart and make sure that it's focused on the person. I'm not just trying to provoke you for my own like sick needs. And there's a safe way to do that, you know what I'm saying? And one of the basic foundations of this, of whoever it is that we work with, is that we see this person as absolutely good to the core, right? Like, that's what's really fun about this, because if I'm racist or I'm sexist and I'm sitting there with somebody and they're sharing this vulnerable thing, I'm just thinking to myself, you asshole, you know, you jerk or whatever. It's this mentality that you bring to this, that like you are good to the core and that shit is just on top of you, and that you have these patterns and you have these programs that you're doing the work, and I believe you can fucking pull them out. Like, I'm here to support you. Thank you for doing your work, and you are good to the core. I'm gonna